Going live.
Oh, okay. We're live.
We're live?
I think we're live.
I hope we're live.
Yeah, it says, okay, this is some tech wizardry.
Yeah, I see live now on the YouTube thingy.
Oh, okay.
Yep, there it is. There's just a slight delay, that's all.
Oh my God. All right, so I've got my live streaming platform. All right, hey everyone, sorry about all of that technical difficulties. I'm going to tweet out the actual
Stream.
link.
Yeah. Probably a good idea.
And we got Chris in the chat. We got everyone in the chat. We'll shout everyone out in a bit. Let me post this to social. All right, so guys, vamp for me while I do this.
Vamping was never my strong suit.
Actual talk about stuff. That's not like skilly bop it now.
That's scatting, not vamping.
Oh my
God. It's terrible, and I can't wait to be moving to Florida.
You suck.
I mean, you know. I actually have no idea what I'm doing when I get down there.
All right. So, okay, I think we're good. So let's start the show. And we'll do the proper intro and all that stuff. Zach, if you want to keep an eye on the chat, and we'll we'll shout everyone out later.
Can do. It's on the YouTube stream. I've got the YouTube open on a separate window.
Yeah,
that's how I keep track of chat.
All right.
To quickly reply to Josh before this gets too far ahead. He says to try and find Florida man. Yeah, Josh, all my friends are worried I'm going to become the next Florida man, so I may not have to look too far.
Don't become any kind of Florida man. Let me check out some of these. So we've got this. If you check that out, we've got AP as the yellow Lightspeed Ranger in the middle.
Kind of works.
So, so I don't know what was better, like the yellow Post-it note on the camera, or graphically the yellow Lightspeed. It's like she's punching both of us. Okay, I'll keep that one.
The decision, the choice is made. The traveler has come.
All right. Oh, I'm glad we could finally get that working. Someday I'll get the hang of this. All right, so today on the Power Hour, episode 152, Ranger Command Power Hour 6th Anniversary Special, recorded on January 20th, 2020. Welcome to the Ranger Command Power Hour on the Four-Eyed Radio Network. Son of Ranger Up with your host. I'm Eric, also known as Trekkie B47.
And I'm Zach, also known as Hollywood. But before we get too far into this, Eric, saying that the awesome AP Lightspeed graphic is making you sound like a robot for some reason.
Cool. It's making me sound like a robot?
It's giving you like the now batting Mike Piazza.
Oh, wait. That's why. Okay, how's that?
Because there's like we'll let chat figure out.
And they probably can't hear AP because I needed to add that to this window. That's why. All right. Can everyone hear?
Can everyone hear me?
Okay, I am.
Hold on. Okay, I've updated the stream. AP, say something.
Hello? Can everybody hear me?
Do I sound like a robot?
Sound off. No, they're saying you sound good. AP, sound off, and chat if you're in there. Let us know if you can hear AP.
Can you hear me?
Okay, well, don't scream.
Don't scream it. Yeah.
Ah!
No, that's really loud.
Okay, they say yes, you're here. So, okay.
Okay. Cool. I'll eventually get the hang of this shit. So
yeah, it's a trial and error process. It's fine.
Well, we had problems when we were doing the Survivor live at first.
Yeah.
It's like with this program, every slide you have to manually configure all the microphones, and I wish they would just copy over.
Excuse me.
All right, so if we're good now.
Oh, shut up, Chris.
What?
Shut up, Chris.
Chris says, I used to hear her until she yelled, and now I won't hear anything ever again.
Shut up.
All right.
And other Chris says, try shouting louder.
Oh my God. Okay. So I'm just gonna take it from the top, or not from the top. I'm Eric, also known as Trekkie B47.
I'm AP, also known as Secret Ranger Fan.
And I'm Zach, also known as Hollywood.
This episode is brought to you by our patrons on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/RangerCommandPH to learn more about supporting Ranger Command Power Hour. Thanks to our $5 and above patrons, Juan S., Steve F., Doug F., Tyler W., Tyler B., Eric D., Jacob P., Steve M., Liz M., Craig M., Derek G., and Teresa B. for supporting us this month. And here we are. It's our 6th anniversary.
6 years.
6 years.
This is crazy.
I want to give some shout outs to people that are here in the chat. We've got Chris Long from Long's Toys. We've got Joshua Moore. We got Huvian Callum. Mm-hmm. And we've got Toku Chris. We've got Omega Rez. And more people, UMBC8. And I'm just, we got Ravon Cooper. What is up? And so we've got everyone here that wants to be here. So good job. Oh, you know what? I should post that link to, they'll find it. I mean, we're live. Who cares?
Did you not post the link before?
I posted it to Twitter, which is like our most popular platform.
That's good enough.
Okay.
Then when Facebook complains, you should be like, well, you should follow us on Twitter.
All right. So I want to treat this kind of like a normal episode at first. We do have some news. I want to give a huge shout out to Bluefin Brands and their new team rider. And if you're not following them on social media, you can follow them on Twitter at Team Rider US, and you can also follow Bluefin Brands. They're doing all these contests to follow them, amazing giveaways, some really great stuff, and they are dedicated to bringing Kamen Rider products to the US. We've already got things like the Sengoku driver from Gaim on pre-order, and it's really cool. They'll be at Toy Fair, and they're going to have a special meetup at Toy Fair if you're in the New York area. You do not have to attend Toy Fair. This is an event outside of Toy Fair, but in the same area, which will be at the Midtown Comics in Times Square. And all the details, you can find that at Toku Nation. You can find it on social media. And if you are in the Chicago area, Team Rider and Bluefin Brands will be at C2E2 at the end of February, all weekend long. They're also going to do a meetup at that show, and it's encouraged to bring your Kamen Rider drivers. There's going to be group shots. There's going to be hanging out with other Kamen Rider fans. It is going to be awesome. So Team Rider is awesome. Bluefin Brands is awesome. We've got some great people working to bring Kamen Rider to the what's happening.
Karen.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was saying timeout because when you said C2E2 was at the end of February.
Yeah.
I did not know that it had been bumped up that much. I thought it was always in
April,
May.
Well, here's the thing. They announced that date for C2E2 at the actual end of the show. It was in the program book for C2E2, and it was crazy because they completely bumped up the timetable by a few months. And so this is the earliest it's ever been. It's in 38 days.
And the point I'm getting across is I thought, I'm not going to C2E2. I'll be in Florida by then. Because by then I thought it was, April. So you're telling me I'm going to C2E2 this year with you, and we're going to cover the show for our show, and we're going to do this Team Rider meetup, and I have to pull together some cash now. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I'm excited. I'm just...
And I'll be down there all weekend. I have a hotel room down there. But that's not an invitation.
No.
Because it's me and my wife.
Fair play.
So, so C2E2 will be there. We'll bring you live coverage or some kind of coverage of C2E2 and Team Rider. So, yes, that is it. There will be more details about C2E2 coming soon. So if you're in the Chicago area, you can come see us. You can come see Bluefin, and I think JDF is a guest at C2E2. So there you go.
Live
JDF watch. Absolutely. God, that's a throwback. So that's really all the news right now for kind of Power Rangers related things. Not too much going on with the hiatus until the show comes back, aside from the comics, and we'll have another review episode coming up for that. So we did have a message from Twitter, but Josh is in the stream. He said he was going to watch a movie tonight, but screw that. He's not missing this. And we thank you, Josh. We thank everyone in the chat for joining this live stream. So we're going to have a ton of fun. Oh my gosh, what is going on in the chat? A lot of stuff.
Shout out to Toku Texas Cosplay. Hi everyone, Team Rider brought me here. See, look at that. They're doing the Lord's work.
Team Rider is pretty great. They followed us, and we're part of one of their giveaways. If you follow us on Twitter along with 9 other accounts, you can win some really cool stuff. And
there's all kinds of cool stuff they're giving away.
A ton of stuff. And so the accounts to follow: at Toku Chris, at Toku Nation, at Deno_Nation, at Ranger_Liz, at Orange Ranger Vid, Ranger Command, at the TokuNet, at Sentai5, at Kiru DK, and at True KROOO. And so you can find that in the giveaway. And the giveaway for that particular one is 3 Ultraman. Yeah. Is AP just making laughs at the chat?
Yeah, I think.
I think I am. Oh.
Apparently, you biffed Jordan's Twitter handle.
At Deno_Token Nation. I was just reading what they put.
I think
do they even know?
I think you said Deno_Nation.
Oh, crap. I'm doing this live off the cuff.
Yep, this is
Oh.
live and as raw as it gets. Yeah, see, you did say Deno_Nation.
Am I dying?
Are you dying?
Is that something I should know?
Okay.
Teresa says she needs to watch X-Aid. Hey Eric, you should show your wife X-Aid.
I know. We did a whole Star Trek Picard watch for Picard, so there's little time for anything else. It's Star Trek. All right, so we do have some questions from Ranger Nation, some people who couldn't be here in this chat. And for anyone that is in the chat, if you have any questions for us, anything related to the show or Power Rangers or thoughts on stuff, just ask and we're going to answer everything that we can. So first, Scotta Birthday 131 at DigiRanger 1994 said, "What excites you most about the future of the podcast? What sort of podcast related things are you hoping to do for the first time? Are there interview subjects you're in pursuit of that you'd be willing to share?" So I'll tackle the last question first. I'm not really pursuing any interview subjects at the moment. And even if I was, I wouldn't be sharing them publicly until we're ready to announce our guests. And even then, maybe not. So just changing tactics on maybe how we do things in the future on that. Podcast related things we're hoping to do for the first time. I'd love to set up some kind of live play for maybe Heroes of the Grid or something, or maybe not with AP's groan of indifference right there.
No, I'm just like reacting. My bad.
No, it's fine.
Unintentional.
Chris shouts crossover.
Yeah, I mean, we can always do well. That's for the first time. We've done crossovers. We can do another crossover.
He says crossover because you've never done one of those.
What the heck? He's Chris. Being a troll.
He's trolling. Yeah. Yes, it's Chris. Don't take anything he says seriously.
Okay. Well, how about you, Zach AP? Do you want to do anything for the first time here on Ranger Command for this year? Is there anything that we haven't done that maybe you'd like to do?
I don't know. Like just in 2020 in general? Like,
yeah, just like for an episode idea or anything like that.
Maybe like a live episode from like Ranger Stop.
That'd be cool.
I would love to do that.
I would love to do a live podcast panel with you guys. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was that's a good thing that we can strive for, and I think it's easily attainable. Ranger Stop, we had a blast last year, which was only a few months ago, and it was just a lot of fun seeing our friends. It was great to meet some new people. Just a lot of fun with hanging out with the actors and some very random and crazy moments, and it was just really fun to just hang out with everyone and just. Chill in a hotel room or grab food or just walk around and have a blast. And
getting stuck in the rain at City Walk. I don't know. I thought that was fun. It was so dumb, but it was fun.
Honestly, like that's a very fond memory for me from Ranger Stop is walking around at City Walk in the rain with you guys and like just kind of soaking it all in, no pun intended. Like just being able to just spend time with my friends. And yeah, the weather was crappy and it was raining on us, but that kind of also made it charming in its own way.
Yeah, it was because of who we were with. You know, we had fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, and I just want to replicate that for this year. I think November is the perfect time to kind of wind down the year right before the holidays with all of our friends. And yeah, I'd love to actually participate in the actual show and do something like a live panel or host a panel or do some kind of live event for that. Maybe we can do just a live podcast episode if the panel thing doesn't work out.
Ranger Chronicles said, "Hi gang, came in at a weird time. What is Zach soaking in?"
Oh.
Listen, we don't talk about this. All right.
Oh, and I guess my wife just announced our new podcast venture. Okay.
Yep, she sure did.
Cool. More about that in a bit, I guess. So, yeah, I think another podcast related thing for the first time. Gosh, I don't know. Like we've done a lot for the podcast.
We really have.
I think I think the live panel would be like the ultimate like next goal for us. And I think, everything at Ranger Stop, actual live coverage. I'd love to do more video stuff for our YouTube channel. We've done a lot of just live streams like this on the past. I think one of the great things that we did for the first year or for last year was having our Power Rangers Survivor actually be live for the first time. And that paved the way for this because we're using this interface. You can see our beautiful faces with these graphics and it's stuff like that where I like to keep learning and keep experimenting. And I think that's kind of like the joy of the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like any, I feel like I'm excited for anything we might possibly do. Like, even just like the potential of like a live stream panel at a convention with listeners, it would be fun.
I think it'd be cool, to do something, not just a live podcast, but maybe some kind of live viewing, like a live Rangers commentary.
Oh, that would be kick-ass.
Cool. Yeah. And maybe, because those Power Ranger episodes are so short, maybe we could do like a huge, big 2-parter or 3-parter that we haven't done before.
Dark Wish live Ranger. Oh, you guys did.
We did Dark Wish. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
And we did Green with Evil. We're shooting ourselves in.
We've done all the movies.
Yeah. Unless the Hasbro movie, whenever that comes out.
Somebody in the chat come up with something, please. We're at a loss.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Speaking to, we have kind of a short-term attainable goal of doing a live podcast or a live watch-along. If I had an unattainable, pure fantasy, it's a million miles down the road, and even then, it could probably never happen, is to somehow get our show referenced within PR canon.
I have no idea how that would work. I think the closest you're going to get is Bulk and Skull's Ranger Station in the comics.
That or
anything.
Or yeah.
Just anything, even if it's just like the letters RCPH or like name some like throwaway characters after us. I don't know. Like anything. Yeah. That would be fun.
That would be cool. I mean, hey, we're in a book. We're referencing a book, so that was like unexpected.
That is pretty cool.
That was cool.
That was pretty sweet. I want to answer the other part of his question. What excites you most about the future of the podcast? And I just want to continue doing this for as long as I can and that we can, because we still have a whole second season of Beast Morphers. If they decide to do another season of the show, there's the movie. There's just so much that we can talk about and discuss. There's also 26 years of all these kinds of topics from Power Rangers that we can talk about. And that's what I like about our podcast. It's like we're not just, and this isn't to say anything about Power Ranger Rewatch podcasts, but we can only do so much, and I think differentiating ourselves. What are you laughing about?
Sorry, I'm reading chat, and Chris Longstoys said, "Phantom Ranger is actually based off of AP. That's why he never takes his helmet off."
Oh my god! I'm not focused on the chat because I'm trying to run the stream and everything.
I know, but you told me to keep an eye on the chat, and I can't help the chat makes me laugh.
Well, if you laugh, you gotta let me know what's up. But what excites you guys about the future of the podcast?
I mean, most of what you said, just the content that we have to look forward to in terms of, the movie that Hasbro wants to do, and then, any future series that they want to do that we get to cover. But also just any really excuse to hang out with our listeners, our friends, covering live events like we do when we cover C2E2, we cover Ranger Stop. Honestly, I can't wait for Ranger Stop this year. Ranger Stop last year left such an amazing impression on me that I am eagerly awaiting November so that we get to hang out again and have fun at that convention.
Yeah. I would second exactly what Zach said. Like, I can't say that any better.
Chris said, when you guys finally get a fourth Ranger.
Until they lose their powers and start
their own show. Oh my gosh.
GR command.
Hey, look, with all the attention that we're getting for Kamen Rider, I'm ready to switch gears. No.
You ready to shift into turbo?
Or something like that. That's kick it into overdrive. I don't know.
It's pretty good for a Monday.
I just got that. Oh man. Oh no. But no, I just think, look, as long as there's Power Rangers, there'll be Ranger Command. And, whether that changes the frequency of the show because of life, or, the show suddenly ends and we have nothing to talk about, or whatever. I think we've been pretty good at staying adaptive to the changes in the show. And like I said before and many times, I just like doing the podcast because it's a chance to hang out with you, Zach, and AP, and our listeners, and just the response that we get from everyone. And it's a really good thing that I think we started 6 years ago, and it's crazy. I can't get over 6.
It's insane to me that we've been doing it for this long, and like, I am so thankful for every opportunity that this show has afforded us, whether it be simple stuff like, just having an excuse to meet and hang out every week and talk together, or if it's something as grandiose as being like able to say, hey, we covered these conventions out of state, or we know these actors personally because they were kind enough to give us their time for an interview. And, just stuff that I never thought was possible just became like second nature.
Yeah. It's really cool. So we actually have another question, and this is from Adam at Lil Adam 87. And he said, a happy 6th anniversary. To be sort of on topic, who is your favorite 6th Ranger in Power Rangers or Sentai? P.S. You're all the best. And we could even break down some 6 Rangers.
Oh man. Or Sentai. That throws an interesting twist into it.
Yeah, it opens a lot. And when they say 6th Ranger, I mean, Adam put it in quotes. So I'm going to include like extra Rangers in that.
Yeah.
And if we're going strictly the typical 6th Rangers, I really like Eric Myers, the Quantum Ranger. And the reason I like it, I mean, he's a Power Ranger named Eric, first off. And he's just so badass and really went against the grain in terms of Ranger archetypes for the show. Like, he was a loner, he was on his own, he was trying to take over the team. He was kind of like this total wild card in Time Force. And I think his character really added a lot to the season. And also Dan Southworth, who we were lucky enough to interview a few years ago, just put so much hard work into everything he does as a martial artist and stunt person.
I'd say my favorite is probably Titanium Ranger. Just because it was like a purely new character.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought his backstory was interesting, and just I just like the character, like civilian, and just how like badass the Ranger itself was. But then also, I don't know if this counts, but it was my first thought, so I'm going to mention it. It's like Tommy as like the Brachio Ranger. I don't know if that counts as a sixth Ranger because he was like extra, but there weren't 6 on that team.
Right.
I would.
So I don't.
Extra Ranger. Yeah. That makes
Yeah.
Why not?
So I don't know. That's like my first/second choice. I don't know. That was like my favorite version of Tommy. I liked the suit. I liked how it had a key in the morpher. Like brought back fond memories of Turbo.
Of Turbo.
But yeah.
Only on a Saturday. Yeah. Sorry. Zach, what about your favorite 6?
Well, since Eric didn't get to mention his, what I thought would be default answer,
I went with a
say,
pure 6 at first, but we all know the true GOAT is Shadow Ranger.
The GOAT is Shadow Ranger. Shadow Ranger for me, Doggy Kruger.
Yep.
I mean, come on. That suit is just so sexy. It's got great lines. It's got just everything you could want in an extra Ranger. But not only that, Doggy Kruger is a fantastic character, played to like perfection by John Toohey, and who we got to meet for the first time back at Ranger Stop.
Full John Toohey experience.
The full John Toohey experience, and it is just amazing. You know, everything about him in that role is. Mwah.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I could switch over to Sentai, I would say Akira from Tokyuger.
Well, there's your Orange Ranger that we'll never probably ever get. I'm sorry.
Don't remind me.
But no, it's just like with Power Rangers, AP's mention of Titanium Ranger, completely new American version. And I'd say I think my favorite version of like an American made Ranger are the Spirit Rangers from Jungle Fury.
Yeah.
Those are some of the best suits that I've ever seen.
Yeah, like the most
really nice.
Yeah, there was a lot of detail in those that like clearly they spent a decent amount of money coming up with that, you know?
Yeah, and I love just even the helmets fit within the whole Jungle Fury aesthetic.
Yeah.
And Geki Ranger. I'll say my favorite helmet of all time is the Bat Spirit Ranger. That was a wild helmet.
I bought that action figure because I loved that suit and that helmet so much.
Yeah.
I liked the was it the elephant one, the green one?
Yeah, green one. Elephant.
I thought that one looked awesome.
That's a good one.
I actually had the action figure of that one, so there you go.
I don't know what I did with those action figures. I probably have them somewhere. But I think I got like because they made 2 versions, the one that was on the show and then like the spirit mode of those.
Mm-hmm.
That was never in the show, unfortunately. But I like both versions. They're pretty sweet.
Yeah. I hate that I sold mine. Like I sold it on eBay like years and years ago. I like deeply regret that.
All right. So I don't know what's going on in chat.
So in chat, we have Ravon said that his favorite Sixth Ranger has to be Cam from Ninja Storm.
A lot of people, couple people, Rosano and I think maybe Josh. They both said agreed with the whole Black Ranger Tommy thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
yeah, Cam's also a great ranger. I like how he was sort of a mentor for most of the season, but kind of taking second fiddle to Sensei, and he really got a chance to prove himself. And I really like that whole entire arc for this, the Samurai Ranger.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm kind of going back through the chat. How about Teresa said, how about an episode of Sentai? I'd like to do a Sentai themed Ranger Command episode. I don't see why not. Like, we could always pick an episode of Sentai that we think is pretty cool and talk about that. Let's see. I'm going through the stream. Oh, Teresa brought up another good idea. Live stream of playing the mobile game or Battle for the Grid through the console. And I think now that I got this whole live streaming thing kind of worked out, maybe. I think playing the game. I think playing the game would be really cool too.
Yeah.
Chris said he's like the Justin of Ranger Command Power Hour. They keep bringing me on, but no one actually likes me. What the hell?
Yeah, he just said, do a Shout Factory Deca Ranger subbed episode. Too soon?
Oh, man.
Chris is trolling in chat, man.
Yeah, he's trolling hardcore. Raheem Young actually asked, do you guys want there to be a Power Rangers cartoon?
I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind it. I just wish we could get away from MMPR. I really do.
I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
It's not happening anytime soon, but it is what it is.
Yeah, like if that's the way the franchise went, I would be fine with it though.
To me, it depends on the animation and the story. Yeah. If they went super kiddie, like Transformers, like the Rescue Bots or whatever, I wouldn't be watching it.
Like, in all honesty, I watch Teen Titans Go sometimes if I need just like a brain melt type situation. And
I think that show's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but like, I don't want Power Rangers to be like that.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
Oh no, I think it makes complete sense.
Yeah, I don't want to use Power Rangers as my brain melt like that. Mm-hmm. Like, I just watch the Teen Titans Go when I just need to like shut everything like off,
And for me, I would love to see a Power Rangers animated, like a movie or a show.
Oh yeah.
But I don't want it to replace the live action show.
Yeah. It would be badass to have something like, I don't know if you've ever seen like the they had like a Teen Titans animated movie, and then like the it was like the Batman, the Bad Blood one that introduced like Batwoman and the Bat Family. Like, something like that would be like awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like a serious movie, but just animated.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and like the CW had like the CW Seed animated shows, right?
Yeah, like the Ray and I think Vixen.
Yeah, Vixen.
I think that's what they were.
And I think that would be the ultimate type of cartoon for Power Rangers, is now that you have no limitations on actors' ages or anything like that, why not do just an anthology going around the Morphin Grid universe? Just
like
a whole multiverse situation with the animated series.
Ken Glenn in chat said that TMNT comic crossover has a lot of animated potential. Let's keep selling that comic out.
Yeah, I'm blown away by how well that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover is going.
Yeah.
And I mean, we got some spoilers for the third issue that Boom had put out. That's on our website. It's only a 5-issue miniseries, but if they keep going the way they're going, this is going to be a really good crossover. Like 2 issues into it, and I already think it was way better than the comic that they did with Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from the get-go, Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, those are my go-to. So to see that like in animated form would be really sweet too. In chat, I'm probably way behind in chat, but I'm just pointing out some things. Steve Martinez, he said, thanks for all you guys have done with getting us through some of the franchise low points, as well as some rough personal times I've had. Hope to see you at C2E2 and Ranger Stop again this year. And I just want to shout out to Steve. And he's been like one of our supporters and one of our listeners from the beginning. I met him at C2E2 probably, 5 or 6 years ago. And he's just a really great guy. And I think all of our listeners are just really amazing people. And I can't say it enough that you guys and girls and everyone, you make us keep going to do this show.
Yeah.
Mm.
And we really wouldn't be doing it without all of our listeners. And I know we say that in a lot of episodes that aren't just the anniversary episodes, but I really and truly mean it. Like, anyone who listens to our podcast took a chance on us. And I'm always blown away by when people say, oh yeah, I listen to you guys when I work out or when I'm driving in my commute or at work, or you've gotten me through rough times. And I'm just so grateful that, we can do something to make someone smile or laugh or something. And that's what we like to do. That's why we do this podcast. We do it because we're friends and we like talking to people. We like talking with each other. And for us, it's just hanging out. And, if we get to do more beyond just hanging out, then that's just a bonus on top. So
yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, we do what we do because we love to do it, and we love that we have so many of you out there who are entertained and enjoy the product that we put out. And if it ever got to a point where it's like, oh, okay, well, we've got one listener who keeps tuning in, like maybe then we'd call it quits. But for the time being, we love all you guys, and we really appreciate each and every one of you. Yes,
Yeah.
even Toku Chris.
Oh, especially him. I mean, obviously. Wow. Actually, he said there are a lot of great Power Ranger podcasts out there, but there's a standard, and RCPH is now the standard. Just like how podcasts inspired Ranger Command, now RCPH is inspiring new podcasts. And look, rewatch podcasts, news podcasts, interview podcasts, whatever podcasts you want to do. There is so many things that all of us can talk about. We can all come together around this franchise. I just want people to continue supporting Power Rangers because as long as the fandom, as long as we're teaching or showing the next generation of kids Power Rangers, we're just keeping what we love alive through what we're doing as a hobby. And I've gotten so many opportunities and just friendships and enjoyment out of a kid show from 26 years ago that just happens to air every single year. And I think that's something really unique in today's nerd landscape.
Yeah. It really is.
Over over in chat, Teresa says, "I guess Eric and I need to book a flight going to Ranger Stop." Yep, that's happening, Teresa.
Yeah, that's the plan. So we're going there.
I'd like to read a question from the chat because I really like it.
Okay, go for it.
It's from a Rosano, and he said, "What Ranger series / team would you guys want to get the Soul of the Dragon / Psychopath treatment and not SPD?"
Okay, not SPD.
Not
yeah.
SPD.
You know what? I know this is so far out of left field, but I really enjoyed the one annual story that had Mystic Force, and it showed Udana and all the stuff that happened before the actual series aired. I would love to see some kind of like thing where they were talking about that magical war or something that continues the story in some way.
It's so funny you say that. I was literally going to say, like, I would love to see a continuation where now Nick is, older, and he's training the next generation of Mystic Force. Yeah, that. Hey man, it's dehydrated. It's dehydrated, man. You need water. Dehydrated. But something where he is the mentor now, and he's training the younger generation of magicians to be the Mystic Force.
I mean, this is super cliche, but I would honestly like to see a Lightspeed one because I feel like just the existence of that organization and just all the like everything behind that, it would lead itself to some like interesting storytelling, like possibilities. Like since it's like a public knowledge type team, or it's like a public organization, like
right.
Like did they pass it on to someone else? Is that like a whole SPD type vibe now? Like what happened to it? Like I just feel like that would lead itself to some interesting storytelling.
And we saw just through Legendary Battle, I mean, say what you will about that episode, but seeing Carter and Dana come back and they were still wearing their jackets, they were still like part of Lightspeed.
Yeah.
What is the story behind that? Is Carter in charge of Lightspeed? Did Captain Mitchell retire? There's so many possibilities. And if they coexist with SPD, are they like, is SPD just the space and then Lightspeed just takes care of emergencies on Earth?
Yeah.
I would just love to see more like, how do concurrent teams interact with each other? What's their jurisdiction?
Yeah. That would be actually a really interesting story to explore.
And it's kind of out there with things like Soul of the Dragon. Like SPD just became this more global organization on Earth, and Power Rangers still exist, but what are they doing? Where does, do they just fight within their own cities? Are there specialized ranger teams? There's just a lot of cool potential things that are really left untapped in this universe.
Yeah.
Omega Rez said, it's a weird answer, but I really enjoyed Yoshi as a 6th on Hyperforce. Going from a solo operative in the organization to joining Hyperforce was really cool. And I was a big fan of Hyperforce, so if we could get more of that, which is so unlikely, but
it's a shame too, because it was really enjoyable.
Yeah. I don't know, Josh said he'd like to see Megaforce or something like that get like the Soul of the Dragon treatment, just to see like how he said talented writer takes a crack at like those characters. So
yeah, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a reboot. We could always do a continuation.
Yeah.
Ken brought up a good idea. I know I'm really behind in chat, but I'm bringing that out for the podcast listeners. He said, break out one of those old customizable card game and see how it holds up. I never really played that. I just collected it.
Same. I collected. I think I played a couple of times.
Yeah. Let's see. Chris said, "Why did that kid name his dog Danny? Find out in Power Rangers Super Mega Force, the nice name doggy graphic novel." Kyle Weller would like to see a united alliance of evil and the different galactic empires.
Yeah, a story on how all those operations operate. That's brain failure. I'm old, man. My brain is turning to mush.
Okay.
So yeah, all of a sudden I'm very excited for C2E2, and I'm gonna have to start planning.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Josh also said like an Arrowverse style Power Rangers show.
Oh,
or like a teen-oriented cartoon.
God.
To complement the main TV show.
That'd be so cool.
That would be. I would kill for that, man.
And
like an Arrowverse.
Like, isn't that basically what Power Rangers 2017 was?
I mean, yeah.
And we
failed. We failed them.
We have failed that franchise.
Yeah.
I failed it because I haven't watched in years now. So.
Omega Rez says, "Imagine a book about the villains going to the tavern on Onyx after a hard day of villainy. Basically Cheers, but they're villains."
Okay. That would be hilarious.
That would be great. That would be like the Batman the Animated Series episode Almost Got Him.
Yes, I love that episode. that was a great. Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be really cool. Chris at Long's Toys said, "So how great is Wawa?"
Wawa is amazing, you guys. You don't understand. If you don't live near a Wawa, you are sorely missing out.
And I'm missing out.
No, I don't.
I just
when you tweeted that pretzel the other day, I was devastated because I can't have the pretzel.
I just had like a big old 24-ounce Wawa coffee tonight too, so I'm like,
oh man,
hype right now.
I love a good Wawa sandwich. Those sandwiches are so good.
You have to have the coffee, man. That's why I drank it right before this show. I had to get myself hype.
I'm super hyped right now. All right, Huvian Callum asked, "What has been your highlight on the podcast?"
I assume personal highlights. So
honestly, I've said this before, so it really shouldn't come as a surprise. My highlight was our 5th anniversary in Ranger Stop. Finally getting the 3 of us together was what was something I always wanted to do for the podcast, and we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. That was a wonderful experience.
It was nice seeing that everyone was real. You know,
yeah.
We're all real people.
I would hope so.
I'm not AP with a voice modulator or anything like that. Personal highlight, I mean, getting to meet some of my literal heroes. Getting to meet John Toohey, getting to meet
John Toohey was great.
Now. Oh god, this is terrible. I feel so bad and I can't cut this out because it's live. Zordon. What is your name? Your name is Zordon.
David Fielding.
David Fielding, thank you. God,
my God.
Your name is Zordon.
In my head, I was like, Zordon. He's Zordon.
Your name is Zordon.
His name is Zordon. But getting to talk with Dave Fielding, getting to meet him at conventions and just getting to say thank you for being so awesome, and
I don't know, meeting Chris Kamenly at
Oh, I thought you
Ranger
were going
Stop.
to say just Chris. No.
No, even though it was like very brief,
Yeah.
and maybe I was like super awkward in the whole process, but I don't know, just seeing like one of my favorite childhood Red Rangers like in the flesh, that was like wild for me. Like that was my first convention autograph, like favorite childhood Red Ranger, just that whole like that whole experience.
And
that
that is a feeling that's an experience that can only happen once.
Yeah.
I know. Well, no, I feel like I'd have the same experience again if I met anyone from Lightspeed, but I feel like my whole like I don't know, I feel like I'd just short circuit and probably just like I don't know if I'd be able to handle that.
At Ranger Stop this year.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
We need to get Lightspeed actors at Ranger Stop this
Oh,
year.
Yeah.
I wish they had at least one person from Lightspeed. I wanted to see AP just freak out.
I would literally short circuit. Like one of you guys might have to like come with me and be like, say something. Like just like slap me in the face and like
No,
I don't know.
I would never do that.
like pinch me. like it's okay.
I would just give you a Wawa pretzel.
I know, like seriously, man.
Oh my gosh.
No, I would definitely short circuit if I ever met like Sasha Craig. Like I would
I honestly would pay to see that. I would pay good money
I
watch-
would straight up just
to
like
watch AP meet Sasha Craig and just lose her mind.
I really would. I think I would. I was like, "Hi, I'm you." Oh man.
Another highlight is getting to meet actors for the first time who we've never had the pleasure of interacting with.
Mm-hmm.
For example, off the top of my head, getting to meet Algin this year at Ranger Stop, and just how excited he was and how engaging he was. It was so refreshing to see that enthusiasm for the fandom that, some other Rangers have maybe lost in time. Not naming names. But meeting Algin, meeting Glenn, seeing these guys out was a wonderful way to spend the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Ranger Stop. That whole weekend, when it was happening, I wanted to take each moment and really slow it down. But the weekend went by fast anyway, and it was a blast. I can't say enough about Ranger Stop. It was just a really fun time.
It really was, and I definitely can't wait for the next one to be hanging out with you guys again and hopefully meet some more amazing Rangers.
Oh yeah. Some more inside jokes. Like that was also one of my like most favorite things.
The
Just like
inside
things that
jokes-
no one else would understand.
The inside jokes always make a great convention.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there for the whole Justin Nemo experience, but hearing the story was great.
You had to be there. It was
I
even
know.
better if you were there.
Well, I was following along in line from the group chat, or I was following along in the group chat from the line, and it was. Yeah, I had no idea what the hell you guys were talking about.
I mean, I know Chris Long's in the chat, but like how I remember it, it wouldn't have happened if you didn't get into line for the John Tui experience like super early.
Yeah,
because we were like, oh, we don't need the John Tui experience. We've got the Justin Nemo experience. like, I don't know.
yeah. And Chris told that whole story on our last extra episode. So if you haven't listened to that yet, that's definitely a highlight of that episode.
Yeah.
God.
Chris just posted a chat. JNE!
Experience. Christian Yeager, the CP Ranger, asks us, out of the 5 USA only Rangers, who is your favorite? So let's see. That was the 3 Spirit, Titanium. Well, I mean, we've got Hyperforce. That's USA only.
Yeah.
I liked Hyperforce.
Hyperforce was a pretty good team.
Mm.
I really
I
liked
still
that Hyperforce had a bigger Ranger on it.
Yeah, I
But
still haven't seen
Titanium.
any of that.
You're not really missing much. It's not.
Okay.
No. I'm just saying, it's not for everyone. Every episode
Okay.
like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely a
Yeah.
bit of a marathon.
And they did release it in podcast form, which makes it a little bit more easily digestible. But part of the fun of it is watching those streams, because there's like glances and like moments that happen visually.
Yeah.
Like reaction shots and stuff,
Yeah.
or
Yeah. So I don't know. There's a whole community about Hyperforce, and there's a lot of recaps out there. I just thought it was a cool experiment. That it was one of the unique things in the past decade of Power Rangers that really stood out, because they took a chance. They designed their own team. It was a completely new format for the franchise, and I think it struck a chord with a lot of people. There are a ton of really passionate Hyperforce fans out there. And
Mhm.
it was even a show that brought new people into Power Rangers. And that's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
And I hope Power Rangers can create more of that type of experience. I'm not saying like, a 3-hour live stream, but I just want the franchise and the brand and everything just to be fresh and, just something that can get everyone really excited.
Oh yeah. That's I feel like that's why I wouldn't be opposed to like an animated series.
Yeah.
Because it would just be something different. And it would help keep like the franchise and I guess the excitement alive.
Now let me ask you guys, is there, I lost my train of thought. That's not good. No, just like what do you think about like all this talk of everything that we might be getting for the second season of Beast Morphers? The 900th episode of all time of Power Rangers is the 3rd episode of the 2nd season. We've already been teased with this Dino crossover and the potential of like some characters from RPM. What is your guys' hype level right now?
I'm pretty hyped. I'm excited. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to seeing what this season brings us.
Yeah. Like genuinely. Like I'm very genuinely excited. Like if it's anything like the first season, I would be very pleased. And I feel like it might even be better based on what we're seeing so far.
I was gonna say, like, this is that tipping point of like
this is the test.
With like exactly, because with Dino Charge's first season was great. It was a breath of fresh air. We all enjoyed it very much. Dino Supercharge kind of fell off and kind of went and drifted off. And Ninja Steel, the first season was okay, and then the Super Steel was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Here we have Beast Morphers. Beast Morphers' first season, whatever you want to call it, was fantastic. I loved it. It was pitch perfect. Perfect Power Rangers. Yes, more please. So this second half needs to be at least that good, if not better. Otherwise, it's going to be just more of the same old stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to see how they integrate like RPM into it, and I don't know, like everything we've heard about so far, like all the old Rangers coming back, like the Dino crossover situation, and again
Yeah.
RPM. Like, how are they going to do that? I don't know. I feel like it's going to be crazy.
And I think, Zach, what you said about the tipping point, there is quite a bit of a balancing act that they have to do in terms of how much lore do you give, how much, or is there might not be enough lore to justify these people coming back. And that's the thing. It's like, how much do you dip your toe into the water of continuity before alienating your core audience? And so I think there's a tightrope that they have to walk. And I actually really liked Dimensions in Danger because we got enough of a hint of where people might be, but I don't think there was enough. Like, for some reason, I'll always think of TJ's line of like, "Oh, not Lord Draven." Like, when did you ever be in contact with him? And that's what I'm saying. There's like a whole nother story behind that. So I think this season will be a true test of like how great this story can be. And I really hope it all comes together.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, Josh said Hyperforce Yellow Lightning Collection.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that would be great. And then I can just put like a little head that looks like me on there. And...
yeah, same. Kyle Weller said, I hope that maybe they integrate Kamen Rider into the series. I don't think that'll ever happen, Kyle, but that would be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think...
I don't even know who has it, because Hasbro doesn't have any kind of rider, right?
No.
Right? Yeah.
I don't think so. Josh brought up an interesting idea. He said, do-it-yourself Hyperforce, basically an RPG set in the Power Rangers universe, would take an incredible amount of prep work, but that could be fun. And
I'm so down.
I was part of something early last year, and I don't know how much I can talk about it, that was kind of a test run for something like that. And I think that would be very cool to do in pod form. Even I think something that would be cool is if we did like some kind of dramatic reading or an original story, kind of like what we've done with our crossovers, but not in our own, like, you know, RCPH universe or whatever. Just like like some kind of creative, because that's a story form of podcasting too, where, you know, there's like a fully produced audiobook type of feel to it with like sound effects,
radio drama.
Right. And I'll say when we've done those crossovers and we've done like the big effects and there's a story, I love that as a challenge for editing, because, you know, you add the background noise, you add the sound effects, and for me creatively, that's a lot of fun. And I think it's fun to listen to too. So if we could do maybe like a short mini series or something where we're like dramatically acting and, you know, we get our friends to do, be involved in that, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and on that note, like not that note, but similar-ish, that gave me a thought of how like badass it would be to have like a Ranger season based on like an RPG, like some kind of weird Jumanji type situation where these people are like playing an RPG game and then it's like, holy crap, we're like, somehow it gave us like Ranger powers and now we gotta like do all this stuff, and that would be freaking awesome. Like maybe make that the animated series.
Like, no, that's a really cool thing. It would be super meta if there was like kind of like the reboot Jumanji, but instead they get sucked into a Power Rangers game, and then they become Power Rangers.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That would be cool. That would be really cool. Oh, okay. Chris had a question. Do you guys think any Mighty Morphin Power Ranger actors will come back for Beast Morphers, maybe in ADR form? Now, we did see the big team up in the trailer, and there was the Pink Ranger, the Blue Ranger. I would love to see or hear them come back, but I don't know if they can get everyone together.
Yeah, I'm gonna second that statement. Like, would I like to see it? Absolutely. I would love to see David Yost and Kimberly, Amy Jo Johnson. Sorry. I would love to see them return. Are we gonna get that? I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah.
And we have to remember, like, the whole SAG thing. There are some people that if it's not a SAG production, they're not going to risk being part of that, even if it's voice work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe they'll come back and like under a different name, because I know some of them have done that before.
Right.
I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though it's completely obvious to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my hope is always bring back as many people as you can. Especially when you have an opportunity like this. Will we ever hear James Napier again or see him? I don't think so. Would it be cool and a surprise if that came out of left field and he did it? Absolutely. But, you know, I have to set my expectations at a realistic level.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm not expecting anything like that, and I'm not, holding out hope beyond hope. Like, if it happens, I will be pleasantly surprised and excited. If it doesn't happen, then I'm not at a loss because I wasn't hoping for it. You know what I mean?
Look, bare minimum, I'm already excited that the character of Jason is coming back.
Yeah.
In some capacity. Like, just that base level trailer and then seeing the original shot of all of those dino suits together, I'm already pumped just for that. Yeah. Anything else is kind of like a cherry on top because I really don't know what to expect because there's so many variables, like the availability of the actors. Do the actors even want to do it? There's just so many things that we don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I could give all of our listeners a list a mile long of things I would want to see, but are they going to happen? Probably 99% of them won't. Tommy Lulu in the chat says, happy anniversary. Crazy. It's been 6 years. I couldn't agree more. I've been
absolutely
doing a lot of this. So, I mean, is that it? Is the chat?
Chat seems like it's pretty much winding
We just
down.
got a couple new watchers too. Really? I noticed the number just shot up because I threw it out on Facebook, on the Facebook page. I posted, "Hey, we're live, join us," and then we just like,
oh, thanks for doing
that, couple new watchers. So
I couldn't get to my Facebook post on that.
Come on, guys! Like, throw us some questions. I know you got something you want to ask us.
Chris said, when I first started listening, I had 0 kids. Now I have 2 kids.
I will always remember when Chris told us he was going to be a dad. And, like, it blew our minds. We're like, wait, what? What? Really? Like, wait a minute. We're still watching a kids show. How are you having kids?
Oh, I think Teresa just put you on blast, Eric.
Yeah, she sure did.
Oh, great. For that.
So I think, Eric, you have a little bit of homework to get to.
No, but we got a couple. We did just get a couple more questions, like good ones.
Okay.
So apparently Josh said, in the midst of putting together a survey focused on female characters and Power Rangers / action figures thereof, what female character do y'all most want to see immortalized in like the Lightning Collection?
Ooh.
Like what female character do we want in the Lightning Collection?
Top female Ranger pick, gotta go with Jen from Time Force.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of like a lock in the bag, especially with the rumor of we're getting a Wes figure. So, yeah, the obvious thing is, give us Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see Jen. Who else would I like to see?
I want like something out of left field a little bit.
I want Lauren Red Samurai Ranger.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be neat.
Because the only figure we got of that was some UK exclusive that never really made it over here from Bandai. And I think Kimberly Crossman is great. I think the inclusion of the first female Red Ranger, well, not first, but let's have Lauren. She was such a big part of Shattered Grid. I would just love to see that action figure. I think the samurai suits are great. And the big accessory to have that big sword that the Red Ranger power for samurai has.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I would say it just came to me, Wild Force Yellow.
Oh yeah, Taylor.
Taylor, that'd be a good one. I was thinking Maya from Lost Galaxy.
Or Kendricks.
Or Kendricks.
Yeah.
Kendricks would be great. Well, come on, AP. What's your top? Like, come on.
Well, I don't want to say that because I feel like everyone expects me to say that. But like Yellow Lightspeed, I would kill for that. But
yeah,
I don't know. I want to see someone. I really do want that, but also like I feel like Wild Force Yellow would be neat, or just even like one of the Mystic Force Rangers.
I just want to see them tackle like a cape that's not Magna Defenders.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Oh, man. There's just, I mean, in reality, give me all of them. I'll take all of them.
That's the truth, yeah.
But I think the one I would want to see most, aside from the obvious, I'm going to stick to Lauren, Red Samurai Ranger.
On that note, Chris, Toku Chris, he said, you can only have one, but not both. Lightning Collection Dark Ranger or Samurai Red Ranger Lauren?
Oh, God. Why do you make me choose this?
It's related, I wanted to.
God, you're putting me in a spot because I really like that they gave Heckle a backstory for the Dark Ranger, and I really like that suit.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like seeing a civilian head for Heckle might be interesting, especially with the like multicolored hair.
Oh my God!
And except that's not a reason, but like
the multicolored hair. God, I can only have one, but not.
Goggles.
Yeah.
You know what? If I could only have one, but not both, I think I'm still gonna stick with Samurai Red Ranger. You have to immortalize a female Red Ranger.
Yeah. You do.
I just want to shout out to Hassan Ahmed, the verified user in chat.
Whoa!
I know, with this big old verified badge.
We got a big shot in here. Hassan, it's your birthday today too. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Hassan.
Yeah.
And I know he was going to do like a live stream for his birthday. Hassan is a great friend. He's a great person. He does really fun videos, not just reviews, but live reactions and video games. And Hassan has always been super positive.
Yeah.
If you're not following him, you should be. You should be watching his videos. Hassan's just a great guy.
Yeah, as I
Yeah.
said in my tweet to him last night, he's one of the most genuine and positive voices in not only Ranger Nation but also in the Pentatonics fandom. Like,
Yeah.
dude just is that awesome and that genuine and that amazing. So definitely check him out. Check out his channel if you're into that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah, we got a couple other questions in here I'd like to read. Sort of
Yep.
related to each other. But Omega Rez said, if you were to do a one-shot podcast not related to Toku with the RCPH crew, what topic would you like to do?
That's kind of. I mean, we've kind of already done that. With
I know,
our-
but like, what else would we do?
what,
I mean-
what else would we do?
food, probably.
We already
all
did
We did that too.
we did our fantastic cuisine
Right,
pundit hour.
God, how do I not remember anything we do ever?
Because you don't listen afterwards.
No, that's not true. I listen to every episode that I'm on.
Oh,
Oh God. We've done food. We've done Arrow, the Arrowverse.
Winona Earp.
Why
I
not?
haven't watched any of that.
You need to, man.
I know. Let me add that to the list of like 40 other things I'm watching.
Yeah.
Does it have to be a TV show?
I don't think so.
We do a podcast on The Mandalorian.
I could talk about that for a while.
Yep. Yep. Mandalorian, that is a good series right there.
How about like any of like the Marvel movies, like the MCU? Would you guys do that?
Oh, and you know what? We could call it a Marvel one shot. Boom.
Oh.
Was that bad?
On that note, I'm gonna head out.
No, come back. That wasn't bad. It's a Marvel one shot. Leave me alone.
Oh, Aaron Gallo. That was the second question. Like a follow-up. If you could have a character from any non-Power Rangers series cross over to Power Rangers, who would it be?
This is kind of funny. For a while there was these comics that like the Doctor Who was crossing with everything.
I remember that.
I would like to see a Doctor Who Power Rangers crossover. I don't know how that would happen.
I would kill for that right now. Like, that would be so awesome.
That'd be pretty good. I really enjoy Grant Gustin as the Flash. I'd love to see Grant Gustin cross over to the Power Rangers universe.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like live action, like on the
Yeah.
show?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that would be nuts.
Listen, if they can pull off the craziness that they pulled off for Infinite Crisis, or Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I feel like he'd probably have a good time with it too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So The Flash, Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Doctor Who would be a good one, man.
Let me just throw something like out of left field that no one else is going to understand. Nurse Jackie.
Why?
Nurse Jackie in the
That's-
Power
that's
Rangers
so
universe.
Random, yeah.
I want to see something out of like completely left field. I don't know. I feel like that would be fun in like a really weird way.
Toku Chris says Darkwing Duck crossover. Make it happen. Yes.
I would watch it. I'd be there for
I would
that.
absolutely watch it.
Rosano Smith said, we got Forever Red. Which Ranger color would you pick for a Forever episode today?
Mm.
I
Blue?
want to, yeah, I would say Forever Blue.
Sorry to cut you off, but
Or-
blue.
Or like Forever Sixth, all the extra Rangers.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be a lot of interesting personalities.
I want to change my answer. Forever Sixth Ranger.
Okay, Forever Yellow.
I mean, like, sadly, I don't like some of the Yellow Rangers. I don't.
It doesn't have to be all of them. They're like, it could be a select core team.
True. Yeah, yellow are like 6 Rangers or blue. So basically, all of them.
Yeah.
All of the colors.
Bring everyone back.
Yeah.
Increase the budget. All right. Toku Chris said follow up. They announced Lightning Collection Snide in the following wave. Is your choice still the same? If it's just Snide, no. I would still go with Lauren.
Yeah.
Unless they did a 2-pack of.
That's what they said.
Echo. Oh, okay.
God, where was that at?
Yeah.
Chris Long said 2-packing with Snide. So
look, keep those convention exclusives coming. I'll do it. Oh, Teresa said a crossover Data from Star Trek and Alpha 5.
That'd be a good one.
yeah.
Or
That'd be pretty
further
funny.
down, she said Picard and the Shadow Ranger.
Oh my God. Ranger Chronicles said next time on Power Rangers, Tony Soprano comes to town. What did I start?
Why is it so funny?
I don't know. Just think of it, like Nurse Jackie and like Tony Soprano, just like both equally dysfunctional, just suddenly transported to like Angel Grove.
Chris says Forever Purple, and it's just Kendall and Korag chilling.
Oh my God. You know what? I'd watch it just to have the two of them team up. That'd be fun.
That's too funny.
Well, then they get the other Purple Ranger, the other Dino Charge, Albert.
Oh, Albert, yeah.
Yeah.
Hassan
says Forever Everyone, LOL.
Forever unlimited budget.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he also said Forever Blue just have more Sudarso brother moments.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool.
All right. This is the
God,
last call for questions.
Josh said Power Rangers meets Breaking Bad.
No. I don't watch that show. Or Pokemon.
Right. Okay. Feeling some kind of
Forever Blue except Justin.
I don't know. I hear he does pretty good for a Saturday.
Oh no.
There'd be a throwaway line. Oh, sorry, Justin got stuck in the lagoon. He couldn't make it.
Justin got stuck on his side business.
Yeah. Oh man.
We left Justin on the moon.
Chris said Power Rangers crossover with the Bears. Which, I mean, hey, JDF voiced one of the Bears, so yeah. That was a thing that happened. All right, I think we're gonna wrap this up. It's been a good show. What's up?
Sorry. Chris Long, Justin was supposed to show up, but he was at the bar instead.
Omega Raz has the best one. Forever 21, the first 21 actors to respond with a yes to the invitation.
Oh wow, we totally forgot for Forever Purple, Jungle Fury Wolf Ranger.
We forgot RJ, yeah.
Why did we forget RJ? He's the best.
Oh.
He really is.
And the first Purple Ranger for Power Rangers. All right, I'm gonna call it. I think we're done.
I think so.
I want to thank everyone for showing up. We have another year of Ranger Command ahead of us. Definitely going to work towards that awesome Ranger Stop reunion that we'll have going.
Yeah.
We're the Wawa Rangers.
Yes, I would join that team in a heartbeat. I don't know. I just really like the food. It was good.
Orange hot sandwich.
Uh,
Black coffee.
soft pretzel.
All right. So, I know we don't do this a lot, but I wanted to give you guys a chance to plug your socials. What do you got going on? So, Zach, where can people find you?
On Twitter at Zach Lavoie. I will be moving to Florida in a couple of months, so that's gonna be interesting. So I may be bowing out of an episode or two coming up, only because I think we still have to live with my sister for like 3 or so weeks before my house is finished. So
not very conducive to podcasting.
No, not great, especially when I have a 2-year-old niece who is entering the terrible twos.
There you go.
So I will be stepping slightly away toward the beginning of March, probably until end of April, give or take.
All right. We'll have some guest co-hosts on. We'll do some stuff.
Yeah, that's just. Chris in the chat says guest host opportunities. Send in those applications now, boys and girls.
AP.
You can find me on Twitter at a Secret Ranger fan. I don't have much coming up. Maybe I'll tweet some stuff I'm getting from Wawa. I don't know.
Tweet those delicious Wawa goodies.
Oh man.
I'm so jealous.
I don't have too much coming up.
All right.
But yeah.
Well, you can find me at TrekkieB47 on
Chris.
Look like it's time for more commentary.
No.
That too, but what other Chris said.
And that's out there. So you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TrekkieB47. And then I've announced it before on another podcast. And to make it even more official, my wife, Teresa, and I are starting our own podcast. Nothing to do with Power Rangers, but everything to do with nerdy stuff in our lives. And that will be called the Mixed Berries Podcast. And we've recorded 2 episodes so far. I want to bank a couple more, and then we should have that out relatively soon. But look for it pretty soon. So, yes. And there'll be more details on that, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone for really joining us in the chat room. Again, we can't do this without our listeners.
Yeah,
you're the ones that make this enjoyable. So, thank you very much. And
seriously, it means the world to us.
Yeah.
Callum, go to bed. What are you doing staying up till 3:00 in the morning for us?
Well, he's across the pond, as they say.
But he needs to go to bed.
Well, thank you very much.
Get your
Thank
sleep,
you.
man. We appreciate you risking bodily harm. I don't know if that's even actually a thing, but go to bed. Get some rest. We'll be here when you wake up. We promise.
Yeah.
And yeah, so just thank you. We can't thank you all enough. So that's it. I think we're gonna sign off now.
Yeah.
So,
I think so.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
everyone. Thank you so much. We really couldn't do it without you guys.
Bye.
Until next time.
Until next whatever Saturday this comes after. Okay.
Yeah.
Why did I make that awkward? Bye.
Bye.
All right. Yeah. All right. So that is it. And then I'm gonna hold on.
I think we're still live.
Yeah, I know.